The palace doors opened with a cold echo that rolled through the empty halls like a warning. The Dragon Queen had returned. No trumpets, no royal procession, no servants waiting in rows, only silence. And that silence felt wrong. She stepped inside slowly, her claws clicking against the marble floor. Her armor was still stained from war. Her wings, scarred and half broken, dragged like a shadow behind her. She had come home, early, unannounced, because something inside her chest had been restless for days. She expected her palace to feel like power. Instead, it felt like a tomb. Then she saw movement. Someone was standing near the grate staircase. A human, janitor. His clothes were plain, his hands rough, his posture careful. He held a broom like it was a weapon he did not know how to use. And beside him, 3 children, small, silent, holding onto his coat as though the world was ending. The Dragon Queen froze. Her breath stopped, because humans were not meant to stand this deep inside her palace without permission. Children had never belonged here. Her eyes narrowed, glowing faintly in the dim light. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice heavy like distant thunder. The man flinched, but did not run. He bowed deeply. "My name is Kale, your majesty," he whispered. "I clean these halls." The children did not bow. They only stared at her wide-eyed, still unafraid, in a way that made her uneasy. The queen's gaze sharpened. "They are not palace born." Kale swallowed hard. "No." "Then why are they here?" Kale looked down at them, his face tightening. With pain he lifted his hands and made quick movements. The children watched him carefully. Then he looked back at the queen. "They cannot hear," he said softly. "They were born deaf." The queen's expression shifted. The words struck something deep inside her. "Silent children in a world that screamed." Kale's voice trembled. "They are my triplets." Palace air felt colder. The queen stepped forward, towering over them like a storm. "You brought them into my home," she said. Why? Kale's eyes filled with exhaustion. "Because I had nowhere else to go." Kale had not always been a janitor. Once he had been a man with a small house in the lower city, a wife who smiled despite the smoke-filled skies, dreams that were simple, fragile, human. Then the children were born, 3 at once. So small, so quiet. His wife died before she could hold them, and when the midwives realized the babies did not cry, the whispers began. "They are cursed, they are broken, they are useless." Gale tried to ignore them. He loved them anyway. He learned to read their eyes. He learned to speak with his hands. He learned that silence did not mean emptiness, but the city did not care. The priests refused to bless them. Neighbors turned away, and when the king's soldiers heard rumors of silent children, they came not with kindness, with chains. "These children will serve the crown," the captain said, with a grin too sharp. "The kingdom pays well for rare defects." Gale begged. He knelt, he offered his life. The soldiers laughed. So that night he ran. He carried all 3 children through rain and darkness, his arms shaking, his lungs burning. He ran until the city disappeared behind him. He ran toward the only place soldiers feared, the Dragon Queen's palace. Because dragons answered to no king. The queen listened as Kale spoke, his voice breaking. "I did not come for mercy," he whispered. "I came because death was behind me." The queen stared at him, her face unreadable. "You know what happens to trespassers." Kale nodded. "I do." The children clung tighter. Kale stepped in front of them, spreading his arms like a shield. "If you must punish someone," he said, "punish me. But please let them live." The queen's breath trembled. A human begging in front of her, a man with nothing but devotion left. She had seen soldiers beg before, but never like this. She looked down at the children again. One held a small wooden dragon toy, crudely carved, its wings uneven, its paint faded, yet it was held like treasure. Queen's chest tightened painfully. Slowly she knelt, a queen of dragons, lowering herself to the floor. Kale stiffened in shock. The smallest child reached out, tiny fingers touched the queen's scaled cheek. No fear, only curiosity. Queen's eyes widened. "They do not fear me," she murmured. Kale swallowed. "They do not hear the stories people tell about you. They only see what is real." Something inside the queen cracked. She stood abruptly, turning away, as though angry with herself. "Stay," she said. "Kale blinked you. Are sparing us." The queen did not look back. "I know what it means," she said quietly, "to be hunted. For what you are." Days passed. Rumors spread like fire. The dragon queen had sheltered human children. The nobles were furious. Priests called her corrupted. The king demanded surrender. But inside the palace, something strange began to grow. The triplets followed the queen from a distance like little shadows. They brought her flowers they found in cracked gardens. They watched her broken wings with innocent sadness. Their silence became comfort. Gale noticed things no one else dared speak of. How the queen's claws trembled at night, how she stared at the sky like she was grieving. One evening, Kale found her alone in the courtyard, moonlight silver over her scars. "Used to fly," he said softly. The queen's eyes darkened. "Why don't you now?" A long pause. "Because my own kind betrayed me." Kale said nothing. The queen whispered, "My brother wanted my throne. He cursed me. My wings were torn, my fire became poison. The dragons abandoned me. Queen who cannot fly is no queen at all." Kale stepped closer carefully. "You are still here," he said. "That means you survived." The queen's throat tightened. "I survived, but I have been alone." That night the palace gates shattered steel, and fire erupted. The king's army stormed in. "Bring me the children," the king roared, "and kill the cursed dragon." Kale woke to chaos. He grabbed the triplets, his heart pounding. They could not hear the screams, only see fear. Queen burst into the hall, blood staining her claws. "You will not take them," she growled. Soldiers laughed. "She is weak. Her curse consumes her." Dark smoke twisted around her body. Her wings shook uselessly. Kale felt despair crash over him. Captain raised his sword. "Kill the human first." Kale stepped forward. Instantly, no, he shielded the children. The blade swung. A small hand touched the queen's scar. The eldest girl stepped forward, eyes shining. She lifted her hands and signed a word, "home." Then she pressed her palm against the queen's chest. Something pulsed warmth. "Light the curse," screamed the queen, cried out, falling to her knees. Then the smoke shattered. The queen's eyes ignited with truth. Her wings unfolded alive. A roar shook the heavens. Flames erupted, golden pure. The palace lit with dragon fire reborn. Soldiers stumbled back. The king screamed, "This isn't possible." The queen rose, towering above them. "You cursed me with loneliness," she thundered. "But you forget. Even broken dragons can be healed." She looked at the children. "This is my family now." She unleashed her fire, burning away cruelty. The army fled. When silence returned, ash drifted like snow. The queen collapsed, breathing hard. Kale ran to her, tears spilling. "You saved us." The queen looked at the children. "No," she whispered. "They saved me." The triplets touched her wings, smiling. The queen's eyes filled with tears. Kale knelt beside Harry. "Don't know what happens now." The queen placed her claw gently beneath his chin. "Now," she said with hope, "we build a kingdom where the broken are not thrown away." The children hugged her legs, silent, safe. And the dragon queen understood. A throne means nothing without warmth. A curse cannot survive where love is chosen. Sometimes the strongest family is the one the world never expected. A janitor, 3 silent children, and a dragon queen who finally found her home.